Hello, welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole and I'm so glad that you're here. I have just a few minutes. I'm kind of in between other projects and I just wanted to sit down and do something really quick and something that doesn't take a whole lot of thought or planning. So I am working in this scrap journal. It is a pamphlet stitch. This outside cover was originally just a page out of like my big journal that I'm using, which is a National Geographic. Let me see. Maybe not. Marvels and Mysteries of Our Animal World by Reader's Digest. That's what this is. So this is just a giant book, and I've been working in it for a while, but I have taken pages out of it here or there. And so one of the pages that I pulled out of this book, I just cut it part of it in half, and it is collaged on the outside. There you go. And then the inside are just two completely these are just like a really rough pamphlet that you can see it's even kind of pulling apart a little bit, but these are just two signatures made out of scraps. I do have this silk sari ribbon tied onto the back of it, and there is a place on the front where I can tie it as well. But I found that when I was working with it, it was just getting in my way. It was constantly in the way. So I glued in, well, I at some point this was glued in. I guess the glue came off. Anyway, I glued in this little plastic envelope so that I could tuck all of the ribbon inside of here, and then it wouldn't like be in my way when I was working. So I need to find a stapler, probably. That would work better than the glue that doesn't really stick to the plastic. All right, so there we go. Problem solved. So, my kind of my rule for myself when I work in this journal is that I will only use scraps from other projects. Like I'm not going to go, pulling out specific materials or planning ahead to make something happen. I'm really just going to use scraps. And the compositions are very quick and they just kind of come together without a lot of thought, without a lot of planning, and kind of based on whatever I can find around me. So I don't actually have a lot on my desk right now. I haven't been doing a whole lot of art journaling. I've been doing a lot of memory keeping and getting ready for some workshops. So I do have some string. This is embroidery thread from the other night's art journal class. I do have this little bin. These are clusters that I have made out of scraps. So I feel like that kind of works, right? Like maybe I could do something like in this color palette with these reds. Who knows? Life is wonderful. So I feel like I could use any of these and that would still fulfill like the necessity for scraps. I'm not sure what page I want to use. I've really used a lot of these pages up. There isn't a whole lot left. Most of them are done. I've got this page at the end that doesn't have really anything on it. This page, it's got like a little pine cone sketch, but nothing really else. This is some paper towel over a map. And then the back page really doesn't have anything at all. So there's just a couple of pages. And then I did have these here, kind of somewhere in the middle, that I feel like they don't have a whole lot on them. So I don't know. I don't really like those colors together. I'm kind of thinking I just want to do this back page. It's kind of a short page. There's not a lot to it. And I also have, this is my scrap bin that I use whenever I have just random scraps that I don't know what to do with on my desk. I kind of pitch them in here. So that might work. There's some I'm kind of looking, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some, I like the texture of this. Maybe I'll use that. Oh, but I've also got this, which actually, I think the color, maybe I could use both of them. All right, those are both in the running. I'm not going to think a whole lot about it. And I've got this like tissue paper. Maybe I do want some of this tissue paper. This is not really scraps because I have a full piece of tissue paper and that I kind of crammed into this bin here, but maybe. Some music paper. Book page. So you can see, I'm kind of just looking through this bin for anything interesting that is catching my eye. And then from there, I'll kind of build a composition. It's not seeing anything else really. Let's see what these little things are, see if I can come up with a. This kind of has the same, I feel like I've got this repetitive corrugated cardboard thing happening. This is kind of an interesting building. It might make for a neat focal point. Do I want a focal point that looks like a building? Possibly. Maybe I do. I sort of just let things marinate and then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, I've got this, which I really love. This is from a grocery bag that I once had. And this is like a kind of a shred from a shimmery, it's got like gold flecks in it, and I maybe can't see very easily, but okay, that's what I'm using. We'll see what I've got here. All right, I like all these neutral colors. I might just start building my background by laying down some of these. I'm just going to layer some of these papers. Ooh, my paint water is pretty yucky. Oh. Do we need more light, do you think? I feel like it's dark in here today. Maybe just because there's not a lot of natural light. It's very gray outside. What do I want to have here? I want some of this. No, I want like a torn edge. I don't want it to be like a nice crisp edge. I don't like crisp edges. I don't know that I want the words collection to stand out either, so I'm gonna cover most of that up. Not worried about that being straight. I really like this. Oh, if maybe I don't want it to be that. No. Will I need stronger glue, do you think? Or do you think this matte medium will work? Let's find out. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's doing a great job of sticking, so I'm gonna staple it. Why not? Oh, I'll leave staples on the other page, but the other side isn't done yet, so I'll just cover the staples up. Well, that didn't work. Now I have a staple jammed in my stapler. Probably not a great idea to use my scissors to pry the staples out, but um, all right, let's try this again. Okay, that worked better. And I like kind of layering this corrugation on top of that corrugation. But again, I don't know really about what's the composition gonna look like? What do I want to do? What do we think? This is crooked. There we go. All right, what do we think? Do we want this on top? I feel like we lose it with the white on the back. I feel like this looks better with this on the background, but then, oh, maybe I could do this across the bottom. I kind of like that. And then I've got this other piece of cardboard that is very grungy. It looks like it's got some ink on it and it's kind of a different size corrugation. I wonder if I can just layer, layer, layer. Oh, I do kind of like this. Okay. So in order to make this work, I need a heavier glue. So I'm going to use, this is Aleene's Tacky. And I seem to be missing my lid. Oh, on both of these. I'm going to have to find lids for these. All right, so I've got kind of a heavier glue. I guess I should glue all the way along. All right. Hold that on here for just a second. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. If you have any suggestions for what I can use as a lid for this tacky glue, I used it at an upcoming or a recent workshop, and I think the lid must be there somewhere, but I sure don't know where. Um, so I might have to wrap it in aluminum foil or plastic wrap or something. I don't want air getting in. Yeah, this glue works so much better than the the matte medium that I was using on this like heavier, thicker paper. I didn't use the building. I'm just going to use this little watercolor sprout that I painted at one point. Do I want it to go behind, like it's coming out of the composition, or do I want it in front of? What's that behind? No, I like it in front better. All right. Sticking that on, sticking that on. See, the red doesn't work now with the green and the brown and the black and the white, so that's out. Do I have anything else here that I want to layer? Uh, no, I don't think I need that. I think it looks, maybe it's behind. Is it go behind? That like that? Maybe. Okay, I kind of like that little bit of white peeking out there from behind. So a little more glue. Tuck that down. Tuck it back behind everything. And then I need a word. I need like an idea to tie this all together. And I don't want to have to go looking for anything. So I'm going to see what I have in my little bin here on my desk. Oh, this is absolutely perfect. This says, I don't know if you can read it. Our revels now are ended. I remember coming across this in an earlier art journal page, and I felt like it was very like dark and kind of depressing, and I didn't want to use it on that page. But this is the last page in the journal, right? I might actually go back and do some more, but like chronologically, when we not chronologically, geographically, I don't know what the right word is, but this is going to be the last page in the journal. And so I think it's perfect to kind of just, now, where do I want this? Do I want it down here? I like it maybe right here. I think I like it down here along this. I don't think it's going to stand out as much as if I put it over here. All right. Let's tear this into pieces. I'm just dabbing some glue on here. I'm going to do this the lazy way. Our revels. I like that it's kind of like overhanging the edge. Our revels now are ended. I want it to stick to the paper, not to my hands. Okay. So here's what our revels now are ended, and we just have some. I just have some neutrals in the background, and then I've got various corrugations, which I kind of just I like the corrugation against the corrugation, and like we've got this kind of way and this kind of way. We've got lots of right angles. I like that this is over the top. All right, that's pretty easy. I don't know what else I need to do here. I feel like maybe I need to put some ink or some edging or something along it. So I've just got a black ink pad. I'm gonna just ink up these edges. I'm hoping that I don't get the, I don't want to get the leaves. I should probably be more careful. If I don't really want to get them, I should make sure I don't get them. I like that because it kind of shows off that corrugation, which was the part that I really liked so much. So I kind of like a little bit of that showing up. All right, I'm going to call it. This is about 15 minutes or so. Some scraps that were on my desk. And I think it works well. This is the kind of creativity that I like, where I don't have to think very much. I'm able to just grab what's at hand and then see how I like it and how it fits together. And then later I'll come back and I'll take a look at this. And if I'm not in the same mindset as I was when I made it, like it can feel brand new. I don't know how to describe it. Like when I'm putting it together right now, it feels like this is the only possible way that it's going to go. But when I come back to it and I look at this 2 weeks from now or a year from now, it's going to feel like someone else created this. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know. Maybe if you're like in the zone, then like I don't think necessarily about my thought process enough for it to like sink in. I do know that I have a bunch of glue everywhere that I really need to dry. All right, folks, thanks for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.